Every Tuesday through ACC play, you will hear the dulcet tones of one Joseph Girard III, who will join us weekly here on The Block, presented by our friends at RomanoCars.com. Without further ado, what do you say we take a listen to our conversation? Here's Joe Girard. Joe, great to have you. Thanks for doing this. Looking forward to chatting with you here as ACC play ramps up for you guys. And let's start there. Let's just give me some final thoughts and as you look back on the Virginia game and what you guys learned from that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Virginia's the top 15, top 10 team in the country any given day. And, we knew going in it's going to be a pretty hostile environment. It always is there. They got great fans and a great coach, great staff, and great players, obviously. So we knew going in it was going to be tough, but the coaches have even been saying it, and us players have said it. We're kind of proud of ourselves for not giving up. I mean, that game could have got ugly pretty quick when they went on those two big runs, one in the first half and then one in the second half. But we had a lot of competitors, a lot of fighters, and we never gave up. We came back, got it down to I want to say 7 or 6 at one point, and then a few things go here our way a little bit more at the end of the game, and you never know, that game could have went a whole different way. So I was proud of the way we all fought and never gave up. And it shows that we can play with anybody. It shows ourselves we can play with anybody. And it's just about doing that for 40 minutes rather than, 25 or 30.
What was the adjustment that you and Judah made in that game? It felt like they kind of got you in the first half, and that pack line defense is tough to adjust to. But it looks like you and Judah had a little more success in the second half. What did you see differently there?
We just started moving more. In the first half, we were a little stagnant. We weren't moving in our sets as much as we probably execute in practice like we do. But in the second half, I think we were moving a lot more. We were setting a lot more screens, and guys were just moving on and off the ball a lot more. And I think it just goes back to the competitive nature. Again, you don't want to go into a game and have it get ugly. It's just never fun, or it's pretty embarrassing for someone who's a competitor. And when that switch kind of flips in your mind and you kind of understand that, good things usually happen. And obviously, it's on us to try and have that flip switch the whole time so that it doesn't get to that point where we need it as a kind of emergency. But I think we just did a good job of moving a lot better in the second half and just executing our stuff a lot more.
Joe, you've played more minutes on this team than anybody this year, and I think you kind of anticipated that. You've always played a lot of minutes, but as you got into your senior year and kind of having to carry some things at that position, how do you prepare yourself for that? What's your process knowing that you're going to be playing pretty much every minute of every game, it seems like?
Yeah, just trying to get in the gym a lot, honestly. I usually work out, by myself for like an hour or hour, 15 minutes, and then also lift on my own, and then go do GMAX workout an hour before practice. And then obviously we have our hour and a half, 2 hour practice. So I just try to get, active as much as I can, just because I know that my body's gonna have to be active during a game for 30 to 40 minutes, no matter what's going on. And, you're usually going to have a much larger defender than I am, who's very athletic on me. So I'm going to have to be in the best shape possible. So I just try to get in the gym as much as possible to make sure that my body's staying moving and is ready to go for that game.
You mentioned GMAX workout. I'd imagine that's pretty intense. I think you should flip on the camera one day so we can see who wins the 3-point shootout between you and Coach GMAC.
I do get that question a lot. We haven't done it in a while, but you ask him, he's gonna say him. You ask me, I'm gonna say me. So it's any given day.
I brought up Judah, and I wanted to ask you about him and how you think he's developing and taking things on. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know at this point, but he doesn't play like it. I mean, if you just dropped in and watched him play, it looks like he's been around for a few years. He just kind of carries himself that way. How are you seeing it?
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, he's a great competitor. And I think, if you compete at a high level and you have the competitive mindset, it can carry you over into a lot of, great things. And he likes to win. He likes to compete. And he's done a great job of coming in and kind of being able to adapt to a much faster pace than, he even played at high school. He went to Oak Hill, obviously, which is a great tradition of high school basketball, has a great coach and all that, and have had great players. So he probably got a lot of experience playing there. But even coming into college, it's a whole different ball game. But I think just his competitive nature and the way he's worked hard has carried him into a successful role that he can compete at this level and not only compete, but he can also help us out a lot. And he's done that obviously in a lot of games. He's helped us win a lot of games, and he's just adapted right away and has done a great job for us.
Joe, how do you look at it with the other guys on this team that are just experiencing this for the first time, getting into the rigors here of ACC play? They've just got to do it and experience it. But if you could give them some advice on that, what would it be?
Yeah, I tried to, the biggest thing I try and say is if you just focus on winning, that's the main thing. Then usually good things happen. Um, I kind of learned that throughout my, career when I was younger as well, is, if you just have your mindset focused on winning, all the personal stuff will happen for you, all the team stuff will happen for you, and it'll be better and a lot easier, smoother of a track. So if you go into the game, whether coach is giving you 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, with your opportunity, and you think I'm going to go into this game and I'm going to impact winning somehow, then usually good things will happen. So, I've tried to just try and have them focus on winning rather than all the personal stuff. And, honestly, for the most part, for everybody, it's been pretty smooth. And I think that these freshmen have done a great job, whether it's starting, coming in off the bench, or being a practice player. Everybody's done a great job and everybody's done their role really well so far for us.
Joe, how have you seen it with Jesse in that it feels like the past couple of games, teams are really coming at him, getting him off his spot, being physical with him. And, look, a great player like that's going to draw some attention here. But when he's either off his game or you have difficulty getting him the ball, what's the adjustment there when Jesse's kind of trying to find his way?
Yeah, we know Jesse's going to be great for us, and he's done it all year. I think Jesse's when stuff like that happens, he starts moving around because he's really athletic. He can move a lot. He's got great hands, catch the ball, whether it's above the backboard, behind the backboard, whatever it is. So, and he takes advantage of defenders when he's on the move. So the more he screens around, the more he's moving around, it's better for us because it allows us to get him in situations where we can kind of just throw up a lob and he can go catch it over anybody because of his size and because of his hands. And it also allows us to move around and then have him post up late in the shot clock where his defender might be coming over to block Judah's floater or something, and Judah could just drop it down to him. So I think Jesse's really good when he's moving, obviously. But the more screens he sets and the more he moves, he's really dangerous around the basket because of, like I said, because of his athleticism and because of his hands. So I think we're just going to try and do that more for him. And coaches preach to us to try and get into him as much as we can this year because of situations where they're going to have to start double teaming him because nobody can really guard him one-on-one in the post because of his size and because of his touch. So and then when teams start doubling him, it opens up cutting lanes for Judah, Chris, Justin, all those guys to cut down, or opens up for shooters like myself, Chris, Justin, and all those guys to be out top and have an open guy and have an advantage.
Joe, the next step, Virginia Tech tomorrow at the Dome as you start to prepare for this one. What kind of Hokies team you facing here?
Yeah, they're really good. We've seen it, the past few years. They got a really good coaching staff who, has really good offensive sets, especially against the zone. And they have the players who can kind of gain an advantage from it. They got good guys who can go into the high post, make some plays, pass the ball from there, score the ball from there. And then they obviously got some great shooters outside who we're going to have to know where they are at all times. So they have the best of both worlds, honestly, inside and out. And it's going to be on us in that zone, just to keep moving and make sure that we know where we got to be and when we got to be there.
All right, Joe, I'll close with this. I'm going to anticipate someone's going to ask me this. I see the hat. And I know someone's going to want to know where to get that thing.
Yes, sir.
So give us a little plug. Where can we get the Joe Girard merch?
Yes, sir. The link's in my Instagram and Twitter bios, but it's novice.com in the JG3 store. And like I said, the link's in my Instagram or Twitter bio, and or you can just search it up on novus.com.
Fantastic. Joe, thanks for joining us here. Looking forward to doing this throughout ACC play, and good luck against the Hokies.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joe Girard, folks, he'll join us every Tuesday through ACC Play, presented by RomanoCars.com. See, that is one advantage of watching the show on QSportsTalk.com. You see the merch. He's got the sweet hat on, and I knew you would want to know. So Uncle Brent took care of you there. That's how you can get the Joe Girard merch. Pretty sweet hat. Maybe he'll model something different for us during each interview as we go through the season. Now, you can take matters into your own hands and get Joe Girard merch. I saw that Syracuse opened up their NIL store yesterday. It's an online store where you can get merch from a number of different players. So you've got that choice. But there can only be one winner now. One winner that said to themselves, listening to that interview, oh, yeah, they play Virginia Tech tomorrow. I would like to go to that game. I have not acquired tickets to that game. I would like to acquire tickets to that game. I would like to be caller number 7 right now at 437-7644 and go to the game. So why don't you be that person? Caller number 7 right now at 437-7644. You get a pair of tickets to Syracuse, Virginia Tech, thanks to your friends here on the block. We'll come back. Hot takes away. Georgia throttles TCU in a game we have not seen before, and Don Van Natta exposing what we thought the NFL did to handle the Bills and Bengals situation last week. Stay right there.